Today we are going to design a bowl, a simple bowl, and then we are going to design a rocket. So I searched it in the Google and these two pictures you can see it. This is a simple bowl. First we are going to design this bowl in Blender. So in this series, in the day zero series, the basic series, now we are going to start using some keys, the hotkeys. So I place here this add-on in Blender where you can also see if I press any hotkey. Like if I'm clicking left, it will show left. If I'm clicking right, it will show right. If I'm pressing middle, it will show middle. So this add-on is to make our workflow very easy. You can see it. Okay. So first one, I am going to delete this default cube. Go on. Okay. So now we have the 3D cursor in this position in the center. In this position here in the origin, and we are going to add. So the short key to add an object is press shift and A. By pressing shift and A, we can have this menu to add the objects. The other way is that we can add the object by going here on add and add a object. So what is the hotkey? Shift and then press A. So we have this add menu open when we press shift A. So we are going to design the bowl. So the basic from the previous two lectures, you understand that we start from a basic shape and then we achieve the final shape. So I am going to add a UV sphere to make the bowl. So this is a sphere, and if you want to zoom in and zoom out, you can also use this tool like that, or you can use the middle mouse button in your mouse. The middle mouse wheel or the button, you can, if you rotate this, you can zoom in and zoom out. If you uh, move it toward yourself, it is zooming out, and if you move it away from your side, it is zooming in. So like that. Okay, so these are the basics to zoom in, zoom out. Or if you want to use, if you don't want to use the hotkey, you can use this option, this zoom in out in the view. Okay, so this is the basic. Next, select the object and go to edit mode. So what is the short key? Let me tell you about the object and edit mode. So if you selected a object and you press tab on your keyboard, you can move in edit mode and object mode. So I selected this object, press the tab, and now it's in the edit mode, and you can see everything is selected. Now if you want to see it from the front, you are going to press this X. It will take you into the front view. And if you want to use the short key, I am just going to rotate the model like that. By pressing the middle mouse button in your mouse, you can rotate the model. Or the other way is that if you don't want to use this shortcut, you can use this X, grab it, and you can rotate it. So if you want to see the front, you are going to press the one in your numpad like that. So if your laptop have the numpad, you can use the one in numpad to have this view. If your keyboard don't have the num tab, then you are not going to use this hotkey. So one for the front view. Okay, so now I have the front view and you can see everything is selected. I am just going to press here so that we deselect everything. And now you can see if I am going to go to the edge mode. So the one is vertex, the second is edge, and the third is phase. So if you press 1, you are in the vertex mode. And if you press 2, you are now in the edge mode. And if you press 3 on your keyboard on the top side, then you can have the phase mode. So let me show you. So these keyboards, if you can see these keyboards, we have 1, 2, 3 on top, but we don't have the numpad. Okay, so this keyboard does not have the numpad. It has 1, 2, 3 these numbers, but it does not have the numpad. So if you want to select the vertex, you are going to press this one. And if you want to select the edges, you are going to press 2. And if you want your selection mode to be phased, you press 3 here on the top of this keyboard. And okay, so this laptop you see here, these have this numpad in this area. So if you press 1 here, you will be in the front view. If you press 3, you will be into the right view. And likewise, and if you press the 7, you will be in the top view. So this is the difference. You have to understand that. So if you press 1 here, you will select vertex mode. If you press 1 and 2 here, it will select edge mode, and if you press 3 here it will select face mode. And here on the numpad, if you select 1 it will be the front view, and if for 3 it will be the right side view. So you have to understand that. Okay, so in the if I press when 1, it's in the front view, and if I press the 1 on the top, just simple 1, it's going to select the vertex, and if I press 2 it will select the edges, and if I press the 3 it will select the faces. So now I am in the face mode, and you can see we are in the front view. We are just seeing the front. So if I press left click and then make this box selection and select these, it will select these faces. And again, left click, drag your mouse and select this top vertex above this origin where I have this cursor, this origin, above this origin, and select these. So now if you rotate your model, you can see you only selected these front faces. It does not select the back side faces. So I am going to press the one on numpad, and you can see we are in the front view. So what if we want to select these back faces with one selection? I am going to press the one, and if you go here, you will see here the toggle X-ray. So if you press it, this toggle X-ray, and now you left click and select these faces. Now you can rotate the model, and you see you selected all of the top faces because of this toggle X-ray. So if the X-ray is, if this option is selected, then you can select the back faces. You can see from this model. So let me just deselect everything. Now you can see I am also seeing the back back faces, back vertices from this side, from the front side. From the front side, we are also seeing the back faces. So this one make it active, and the other way is that for the hotkeys, if you press Z, it will give you this option. So you want to select the wireframe, material view, solid, render, wireframe. So you can use this Z to select these shadings. And if you press the Shift Z, you can toggle between different shading views. Okay. Now I am in this shading view, the solid and the X-ray is open. Selected. Press 1 and now select these faces, these top faces. Now I want to delete these faces. So press X on your keyboard. When you press the X, it will give you this delete option, and you are going to select delete all faces. So now all the faces are deleted. Now you just have the bottom faces. Now again I am going to press 1 on my numpad. It's numpad, and I am going to make the box selection and selected these faces. These bottom faces, one, two, three, three rows. I am selected. And now if you press S, so how you can scale? You can scale by selecting this scale tool, or you can press S on your keyboard. So if you press X, it will activate the scale tool. And now you can see we are scaling in X, Y, Z, all of these directions. So what if you want to scale it only in the Z direction? You press S and then Z. So I am going to press Z. No, it's only going to scale in Z direction. So let me do it again by deselecting it. So this faces are selecting. I am going to press S on my keyboard and then Z to only scale in Z direction. So now we are moving in Z direction. So we have to move upward like that. So when we are here, I am going to press the left click, and now you see this properties manager, the resize. I am going to open it. So the scale X, we did not change it. The scale Y, we did not change it. The scale Z, it's 0.143. We want to make it 0. So press on it, press like that, left click and press 0 and enter, and then press anywhere in this 3D viewport window. So now this bottom face is scaled to 0. It's become flat with the reference to the Z. Now I am going to uncheck this toggle X-ray like that. And what is the shortcut for the toggle X-ray? If you go here, you can see Alt Z. So if I press Alt Z, it's going to, it's X-ray mode, Alt Z, it's solid mode. Okay. So now we have this basic shape like that. So we have the upper shape. Okay. Now you can see these are just this model. It's these are just uh, faces. It does not have the thickness. I am going to go to the object mode, and now in this tutorial I am going to tell about the modifier. So this is the properties editor. So if you go here, you can see we have the works active tool, we have the render setting, here we have output properties and view layer properties, scene properties, and here if you go here on this range, it is telling this is the modifier. So this is the modifier property. So I am going to click here on this tab to active this modifier. So what are the modifiers? Basically in Blender, modifiers are the assembled code that apply a process or algorithm to an object. It will change the shape of the object, it and according to the given defined modifier, it will change the object. So if I go here on the add modifier, I see here different type of the modifier. Modify, generate, deform, physics. These are different types of the modifiers which we are going to cover in the coming videos. So for now, I am going to talk about the solidify modifier. So basically, this modifier provides a tool for creating solid object from a thin walled object. So basically, it gives thickness to the object. So this is the thin walled object of the bowl. And when we apply this solidify modifier, so I am going to click on solidify modifier. No, it will give thickness. So on this window you can see we have mode simple thickness. We are going to define it. So I am going to changing this thickness. If you click here on this simple rectangle, you can see we are defining the thickness and we are increasing it, and if we press on this side we are decreasing it. And if you move your cursor here on this location and just press left click and drag it, no, we can drag and change it. So this thickness is good. So we define the thickness 0.1 millimeter and then go here and apply. So we are going to apply in this case, apply it. So this modifier is applied and we define the thickness to this bowl. Okay. Next, we are going to go to the edit mode by pressing the tab on your keyboard. And now you can see we added the thickness here and the mesh of the thickness is also here. Now we are going to rotate the model by using the middle mouse button and you can see the bottom of this bowl. Okay. So now you see we have faces here, these faces, these ring of faces. So what about if we want to select uh, these faces? So one option is that I press the shift on keyboard and I am going to select all of these faces. So you know it will take some time to select all of these faces. These are a lot. So it's taking time. Just feel it how much time it takes to select all of these. So what is the shortcut if you want to select all of these faces which are in some type of pattern? So how you can do that? You are going to press the Alt on your keyboard and then select this face. So, but make sure you are near to this edge. So like that. Now you can see in one click, in two click basically, we press the Alt. I'm going to deselect it, press the Alt on keyboard and then move your mouse here. So let me define another thing. So you want to select this ring. You want to select this ring, but your cursor is here in the middle of this individual face. You press the control, you select and press left click, it's selected. And sometime like if I want to select this face, it's like that. And if I near to this edge, I press it, it's selecting like that. Okay, so we want to select this face, so press the Alt and select this whole ring of the faces is selected. Okay, now what you want, you you want to extrude this face. So how you can extrude it? Either you can use this tool, extrude region, or you can press the E button on your keyboard. So you press the E and you can drag it in the lower direction. And here you can see the the direction of the extrusion is in Z direction. So what if you want to extrude it in the X direction? So you press the E and then press X. So now it's extruding in X direction. So I am going to cancel it and we needed the extrusion in Z direction. So press E. It is automatically in the Z direction. We don't need to press the Z here. The Blender will automatically understand that what you wanted. So I just give a sport, that much sport. Okay, so now we achieve this and go to object mode and you can see we added sport in the bottom. Okay, so now just rotate this model and here you can see this model, the mesh are not refined. The geometry is not enough to give him a good shape. You can see we can easily observe these faces in this view. So what we needed, we needed to shade this model, or we can also add the extra geometry by using a modifier. So go to here on the modifier properties, this range, and add modifier, and here you go, you see a subdivision surface modifier. So basically, the subdivision surface modifier subdivides the surface of the objects, adding vertices, edges, and faces, giving the surface of the object a smoother and rounded appearance. So it will basically add extra geometry to this object. So I am going to select subdivision surface, and you can see now these faces become very small. So it's adding the extra geometry, and here you can see the levels. If you increase these levels, it's adding more geometry to it. And here render, you can also increase it. So basically, for if we are increasing these two value, it will giving a good shape but in the render, the Blender will take time, computational time to render it. So we will be good for the render and just apply this modifier. And here we are going to again uh, smooth shade this object by clicking this, by selecting this object, then left click, right click, sorry, select the object, right click, and here we can see our option shade smooth. So it will uh, smooth this object. So now you can see we have a good looking bowl. And here if you go here on this object data properties, and here you can find the normals, and you can change the auto smooth and check this. So it will only smooth the vertices or faces which have the angle of 30. So it is also a good thing, but for this we don't need it. So this is a simple bowl which we just design it. So I am going to press E, one, sorry, on numpad to have the front view. I am going to select this object, and I am going to select this move tool. I am going to move it upward and then move it like that here, and then I'm going to move it here. So basically I want to design the rocket on this environment. So this is the rocket. Now we are going to design the rocket. The rocket and the bowl together does not make sense, but for the practice we are doing it. We are not designing a movie scene or the game asset. We are just practicing it. Okay. Now the question is how you can model this object. Just think about it. We are going to use the same tools which we learned in previous two videos. We are not learning doing something extra for this object, this rocket. Okay. So here you can see we have the 3D cursor in the origin. We can add the object. How we can add the object? Press Shift A and you will have the add option. Go to mesh, and here you can see the cone. We are going to add a cone this time. We did not use this cone in previous videos. So guys, we have a cone here. So press cone, the cone is added, and you can see a simple cone, not an ice cream cone, a cone, the cone of the rocket which we are going to design it. So this is the basic shape, and we are going to edit this shape into a rocket. So let's do the magic. So select this, and here you can see we have this cone and we have sphere. So for this sphere, double click on it and change the name. And for this cone, I am going to double click on it and changing its name to rocket. Okay. Okay, select this cone or the cone of the rocket and go to object mode. Okay, now we have everything selected. Just press anywhere, and now everything is deselected. Go to face mode, press 3, and we are going to select this face. Now we want to extrude this face to give him a length. So press E on your keyboard, and now the extrusion is in the Z direction. We are good to go at this place. Okay, so we added the body of this rocket. Okay, next I'm going to press 1 on keyboard on the numpad, and just know how you can pan. The shortcut cut off the pan. The first is you just go onto this hand and just drag it like that. And the other is that you press the shift on your keyboard and then use the middle mouse button to drag it. You can use the middle mouse button to zoom in, zoom out. You press the middle mouse button and then drag the mouse. You are rotating. And if you press the shift and middle mouse button, you are dragging. Try to practice these things. I am going too slow in this video. The length of the video are becoming longer, but just try to practice it. Practice is the main thing. If you are doing practicing, you are learning something. If you are not doing the practicing, just uh, watching these videos will not benefit it. So how you can move, zoom by rotating the middle mouse button wheel. How you can rotate by pressing the middle mouse button. How you can pan by shift and pressing the middle mouse button. You can pan it like that. So these options are used to make a uh, view to fit to your eyes. So these tools help you to visualize and zoom in, zoom out. Okay. So press the one, and here, we use a loop cut tool. So what is the shortcut of this loop cut tool? You see here, see in the description of this loop cut, the control R. So by using the control R, we can add the loop cut, and using this shortcut for the loop cut will also benefit it. Okay, how? So press Control, then R, then move your mouse to this body where we want to make a loop cut. So if you press the left, then mouse button, and the loop cut is done. And then when this loop cut is done and you are using the short key, it will allow you to move this loop cut in this way, in the normal to this body like that. You can move it. So if you don't want to move it like that, like place it here, you just press the left mouse button and it will be in the original location. So did you understand that? I think you did not understand that. So how, when previously we just used this loop cut tool, we select it and just select it, it's done. Okay, in that way. So but if you use the hotkey for the loop cut by using the control R, and then move your mouse here, and you edit this loop cut. So when you click the left mouse button, now the loop cut will take you to the move. So control R, add this loop, and now we can move this loop in the normal. It will move it normal, like we here we have in the Z direction, so it's moving in upward and forward. So we achieve this goal by using the loop cut short key. By using the tool on this toolbar, we cannot achieve this effect. So I am going to press the left mouse button to place it in the previous location. If you want to place it in this location, we just press the left. And if we want to like if we don't want to make to move this loop cut, we just press the right mouse button, so it will be in the same location. So again, I am going to use the control plus R to add this loop and add it in this location, and I am just going to drag it in this in this location. Okay, now I am going to go to the X-ray, and I am going to select this loop like that by pressing the edge, and then I'm going to press the move tool. So what is the short key of the move? G. So you press the G on your keyboard, the move tool is activated, but now it's moving in the X, Y, and Z direction. So how you can select the axis? So for this, I want to move in Z direction. I press the G and then Z. No, it will only move in Z direction. And like, let me cancel it. If I want to move it, press G and move it in Y direction. No, it will only move in Y direction. Okay, so if we want to move, press G and move it in X direction, then press X. Now it's moving in the X direction. So in what direction we needed to move now? In G and then Z, and make it here. Okay. Now deselect the X-ray view and then rotate this model, then zoom, then pan, zoom, zoom, pan to see these faces. Now I wanted to select this whole ring of these faces. I press the Alt and this. Sorry, we needed to go to the face. So select this face mode, or by pressing the 3, or going here. Two ways. Okay, press the Alt and select a one ring, one face, and it will select all of the other faces. So now we needed to extrude these faces, but normal to their region. So go here on the expand this one, and you go here extrude along normals. So you activate this extrude along normal, and then this plus sign extruded a little bit. So we added it just little bit. No, no. So just undo it. Edit, undo. And what is the shortcut of undo? Control Z. Control Z will undo it. And redo, shift control Z will redo it. So we added this. Okay. So now we have a shape of this rocket. Now I am going to go to the object mode, and you can see we have the shape of the rocket. Next, we needed to add a wing here. So what I am going to do, I am going to press 1 on my keyboard. So we have this normal view, front view, just rotate it. Okay, rotate it. So Shift A to have the add menu. Shift A, we have this add menu. Go to plane, just have a simple plane like that. Now you can see we have a plane, and we can move by using this move tool. I am going to move it like that. Now, basically, we want to rotate this model in the X direction. I am going to select this transform tool, select this plane, select the transform tool, and now if we select this red arc, and we can rotate this like that. And here we select 90. Okay. Now if we go to the front view, you can see we have this plane like that. Again, press the move tool and change its location like that. Zoom in, zoom out. Okay. Now by selecting, only select this plane and then go to add object mode and edit mode and select selection box. So we don't selected any tool selected. Now press anywhere. So we are not selected any vertices or face. So now go to the vertex mode by pressing here or press the one on your keyboard. And now I am going to select this move tool. So select this move tool, select this. So just see the shape. So this is the shape of this thing. So select this and move it like that. Select this one and move it like that. Then select this one like that and this one something like that. I'm just moving these points. So you can do it by yourself to achieve a good shape like that. We only needed to move these vertices to achieve this shape. So this vertices we move it downward and this little bit. And now I am going to both select these two vertices like that and just move it like that, like that. Okay, now we have a wing like that. Now go to object mode and we have to give thickness to this thin plane. So go to modifier, add a solidify and give a thickness that's enough 0.14 and apply this modifier. Now go to the press 1 on your numpad or this Y. So you have the front view, then select this vertices and select the move tool or press the G on your keyboard and just move it like that into this. So this plane is into this rocket and little bit inside of it like that. So we added this one and you can see it's into this rocket. Press 1. Okay. Now again we are going to use another modifier. So select this wing, add a modifier, and we are going to use a mirror modifier. And around the Z, one on the XY. So we needed to use this mirror X along the X axis. So press 1. Now you can see the location of this mirror is not good. It's going to mirror around this origin, the origin of this wing. So I am going to cancel it, and now we needed to the shift the origin of this wing. So it has a origin here. Every object has a origin. So if I select this object, you can see its origin is here. If I select this object, you can see it has a origin here, little dot showing in this circle. So what we needed to move the origin of this object here on this location, on the center of this rocket. So how we can do that? I'm going to select this object, then press the right click, and here you can see set origin, geometry to origin, origin to geometry, origin to 3D cursor. So I am going to select this origin to 3D cursor. Now see the magic. Now the origin of this object is shifted here on this 3D cursor location, on the origin of this X and Y and Z location. So if I select this object and then go to add modifier, and now we are going to use the mirror. So you know about the mirror. We can mirror the object on the other side. Like you see a mirror, you should see your face. So same object on the other side. So mirror tool, now you can see the mirror tool is working. The same object on the other side. It's mirrored like that. And press this apply. And now how many objects we have? We have this object and this object. Now we needed to make these two objects into a one object. So select this object, then press the shift on your keyboard, select this object, or select this object and then select this object, and then press Ctrl J. And now you can see these two objects will become into a one object. You select this one, this rocket, and this will also be selected. Now just go here and shades mode. And here onto this object properties, make the normal auto smooth. So it will only smooth the vertices or the edges which have greater than 30-degree angle. Okay, you see we added a rocket and a bowl. So I am going to press 1. I am going to select this one, move it in this location. We have a bowl and a rocket, and just shift A, add a plane, press S to scale it, then select the plane, press the tab to edit mode, press 2 on your keyboard, go to the edge mode, select this edge by pressing the shift and select this edge, and then press E and then Z to extrude it in Z direction like that. And now we need to go to the edit mode and define the materials or the color. I'm just going to make it like that, move it like that. Okay, so for this scene, this bowl, I'm going to select the selection box, selection. I'm going to select this one, go here, material, add new, this material. I'm going to make the color white color. And here we can also define the different properties when we are going to talk about the shading and other things we are going to talk about it. So for this one, I'm going to, and to see the effect of the color, I am going to go to the viewport, shading and render. So changing the color, something like that. And for this one, this rocket, We are making a cartoonish rocket, something like that. And for this world, this one we are going to add another material, and this will be the okay. So if you want to render it, you can render it by going here, seeing the render engine. So the EV and the circle, these are two different engines. So EV will take a render engine, EV will take less time, but the result will be not good. And for the cycles, it will take a little bit more time, not little bit, a lot of more time, but the result will be very good. So, thank you so much for watching this tutorial. And if you really learned something, please subscribe my channel, share the videos to your friends, and comment it and tell me what you want me to do about the coming videos.